For Nichols and Twiston Davis, Modus for Barry Geraghty and also Paul Nichols. Local show, Does Your Dog Bite? The 11-2 favourite. Jaleo fancied as well in the weeks, now out to 9-1. Calondra for Neil Mulholland. Chesterfield, heavily back this week, now an 8-1 chance. Sam Red, Fountains Windfall, who runs here in preference to Warwick. Willow the West for Henry Daly, just touched off at Cheltenham earlier this season. Lord of the Islands, a 12-1 chance. Benny's King for Venetia Williams, Templeross, and the bottom one is a non-runner. Does your dog bite? The favourite, Mick.
It doesn't, my dog. This horse was a really good winner here over course and distance last time, and he had the run of the race, but there was a lot to like about the performance that day.
He's in fits and starts, though.
Yeah,
you stopped it down the back, you'd said he's got no chance.
But that's like Kempton is, Luke. You know, you can have that, you think you're struggling, and then suddenly you get into the straight and they start to pick up for you. I think he deserves his place at the head of the market. I really like the other horse, Paul Nichols' Modus. I think he's been placed in he's been placed in big handicaps, and the experience that a horse gains from running in those sort of races is invaluable when you're running a race like this.
Quick word from you, Luke. Money this week, early in the week for Chesterfield. Now Templeross is the gamble.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Chesterfield, a friend of mine's got a share in him, David Irwin, and I think there was some 33s around at one stage. But, yeah, he's a really interesting contender, a horse with a lot of ability. Getting ready for the Lanzarote. Here's Mark Johnson.
It's now post time. The starter checks his watch. Poised at the top of the rostrum. The all clear is given. And the flag is raised. Walking forward with Benny's King leading them in. Templeross also right up there in the early line as they walk forward. And they're off for the 32 red Lanzarote Handicap hurdle race, and they make the run towards the first of the 10 flights of hurdles, and it appears as though it's a very generous early gallop being sent by Templeross, and local show is towards the inside also prominent, and Benny's King towards the outside. Jaleo has gone at the first. Jaleo in the first 4 or 5 comes down at flight number 1. So Jaleo is out of the contest. We're down now to 12 of them going towards flight number 2. And it's local show on the inside. On the outside is Benny's King and Templeross, and then out wide is Chesterfield. On the inside, Lord of the Island is also prominent as they go over flight number 2. And they're all safely over. The back marker over that was Calondra, and police report that Alex Ferguson is up on his feet, having taken that heavy fall at flight number 1. So they make the turn and on now towards the final 2 miles in the 37th running of this historic hurdle race here at Kempton Park. The Lanzarote, named of course after the 1974 champion hurdle winner and a dual winner of the Christmas hurdle, and it is local show who leads the parade. To Templeross racing in second, and Lord of the Island on the inside is in third. Benny's King, the red colours, in fourth, and Chesterfield, quite keen on the outside in the green, is racing in fifth. Scraping paint around that turn in sixth was Willow the West. He's been followed by Does Your Dog Bite. Between horses is Sam Red. Working wide of the yellow of Fountains Windfall. He's alongside Modus, and behind them is Old Guard as they go over the first flight taken in the home straight. And it was Chesterfield who didn't pick his feet up there, and he flattened that flight of hurdles. Old Guard now in the last duo together with Calondra. They go on then towards flight number 4, preceded by the loose horse, and the leader over that flight was Local Show. Out in front now by about a length and a half. To Templeross, really well backed in the last hour or so before the race, racing in second. And then Lord of the Island, the dark blue against the inside rail, is in third. Benny's King bidding to give trainer Venetia Williams her third win in the Lanzarote. Now racing in fourth position. Chesterfield is in fifth out wide, and so too is Fountains Windfall, who's racing in sixth. On the inside, Will of the West is just in seventh. Sam Red is racing in eighth. Modus is in ninth. Does Your Dog Bite is next, followed then by Old Guard, and still the back marker is Calondra and Richard Johnson. They go towards halfway in the 37th running of the Lanzarote, and still Local Show, one of the 2 previous winners here at Kempton over hurdles, who's out in front to Templeross on his outside in second. Then Lord of the Island towards the inside, Benny's King, and then working wide of Chesterfield as they got over that next flight of hurdles. Does Your Dog Bite there just came off the bit now been shuffled back to last place, and Aidan Coleman gives him a shake of the reins as they go now over the second of the two flights taken down the side of the course. And it is Local Show. Has been a real end-to-end gallop here, taking no prisoners, out in front by just over a length to Templeross, who is in second. Then Chesterfield, the green colours, making an early move around the outside, is in third. Lord of the Island against the inside rail is in fourth, and Benny's King is in fifth. Fountain's Windfall now in sixth, and Will of the West is in seventh. In eighth place is Sam Red. In ninth is Modus in the gold and green hoops. Then towards the inside is Calondra. Working very wide is Old Guard. Sam Twiston-Davies has taken widest of all, and now still the back marker, last of the 12, is Does Your Dog Bite as they go over the fourth from home. Templeross begins to lay it down now to Local Show, who's always been right in the vanguard. Towards the outside is Chesterfield, looking to the tail of the field. Does Your Dog Bite once again? Aidan Coleman is beginning to urge him along to try and keep tabs on that leading group, but he is no more than 6 lengths off a very, very tightly bunched field led by Local Show, and this is the third from home. Local Show got in tight. Templeross was over in second. Fountain's Windfall is in third. Chesterfield the Green is now in fourth. Lord of the Island is in fifth. Modus now begins to check off rivals one by one. Barry Geraghty looking for his second win in the Lanzarote. Then Calondra is also trying to creep into it. Old Guard is off the bit and being driven. So too is Sam Red. Likewise Does Your Dog Bite. Then on the inside is Will of the West as the Lanzarote field turns for home. Local Show digging into the inside. Templeross now breathing down his neck. Modus maybe delivered late. He comes towards the stand-side spot, his noseband. Then towards the inside is Lord of the Island. Next in the field is Calondra. Old Guard, Does Your Dog Bite is now beginning to stay on as they jump the second from home. Templeross the leader. Modus now his nearest pursuer. Then back in third. Calondra continuing to stay on for Richard Johnson. Lord of the Island still has a chance. They race down towards the final flight. Barry Geraghty and Modus have come to take the lead of the Lanzarote. He led by 3. Templeross was over in second. Calondra in third. In fourth is Lord of the Island, but with another half furlong to go, it will be a third win in the race for trainer Paul Nichols, a second win for Barry Geraghty, and it is Modus who takes the Lanzarote. Templeross was in second, back in third, Lord of the Island, and tight 4 between Old Guard and Calondra.
And what a talented horse Modus is, winning the race at 7-1 for JP McManus, Paul Nichols and Barry Geraghty. Those 3 wins that Mark referred to